This week, we play golf on the PGA Tour here and in Houston and in Mississippi and at the Senior Tour event in Los Angeles in Payne's memory.
ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, and the PGA Tour present 4 hours of live opening day coverage of the 1999 Tour Championship, presented by Southern Company. 14.
And Tiger Woods.
With a wedge, 135 to the hole. A big advantage being able to bring it in high and with a lot of spin. Oh,
Oh, yes. Well, he really does play some wonderful shots. And the great thing is, I think, as an observer from outside, he is so consistent. We wondered when he started off whether he hit the ball too hard, whether he hit through the ball too quickly. He appears to me to have shortened his swing, tightened his backswing a little bit. He sometimes barely gets to the horizontal. And when you compare that to some of the other players who swing beyond the horizontal, he manages to generate enormous power. He's got a golfing brain far older than his body. And he's got everything, chipping, putting, and this extraordinary ability to play a sort of miracle shots. I don't say at will. Nobody ever will master this game, so they just turn it on where they want to. But at this moment, if there's anyone better in the world than him, I'd like to hear about him, because he's just going through a sensational purple patch at the moment, which quite remarkable. Not since Johnny Miller won 8 tournaments, and Arnold, of course, in his heyday. But this young man is truly remarkable at the moment. And it's a joy to watch. It really is.
Well, Tiger Woods, the drive was right. The result was hard.
Better watch out. I don't know where it's going to go. Better watch out.
Now, this is interesting. He can't get the club on the ball. You just heard him say, look out, he doesn't know where it's going to go. The rock is behind the ball. The only way he could crisply hit the ball is to go back toward the people in the cart path. I'm not quite sure what's he going to try. Gary?
the rock's actually touching the ball, Curtis. It's about sort of 2 inches by 2 inches, but it's right up against the back of the ball. And he's also very close to the trunk. It's not as big as the rock in Phoenix, but it's a rock.
Gary, it looks like right now he's going to just kind of smash it and hopefully gets a ball rolling toward the fairway.
Yeah, I think he's got to be very careful here.
I don't think it'll be as spectacular as Sergio Garcia's, do you?
No, no, no.
Ooh. That was an aggressive play. I'm very confused as to why he wouldn't just move the rock. I can't figure that one out.
Well, he couldn't, Gary, because it looked like the ball was actually leaning up against the rock, and if he moves it, look at that, it's actually touching it. Tiger's afraid if he moves the rock, the ball will move, and that would incur a penalty.
I was just thinking about his wrist, Curtis, you know. Is it worth risking something like that? Or
well, that's the judgment call the player makes. You know, he's just going to have an explosion right at the ball, which he did. Ball got out, and he can advance the third one on the green.
A young decision.
Did they actually break the sandwich, Gary?
I haven't had a chance to see. I'm going to go over and have a look. It made an enormous thud when he hit the rock.
It looks like now he's actually hurt himself. Something's up right now.
This is like a stinger.
Actually looked like it could have been his wrist or his arm, but actually could have had some of the rock fly up and hit him in the side of the face. Yeah, it looks like he might be.
He keeps grabbing for that left.
Keeps shaking his left wrist.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that, you know, with all these golfers, that's part of the game and the body that I'm surprised isn't injured more, is the left wrist and the left elbow, with all the impact it takes time and time again.
Saw him banging the left hand against the bag, almost like trying to get normal feeling back into.
That's a heck of a vibration that comes up that shaft once you hit a rock.
That was
Trust
a
me, I know
substantial
that.
rock.
Third shot, par 4.
He now has a sand wedge in about 105 yards.
Come on, Tiger. Come on, Tiger.
Let's take one more look at actually what happened. When Tiger swings and hits this rock with a lot of speed, that whole shaft will vibrate tremendously, and it'll vibrate up his wrist, up his arm. And it'll just shock you. Like Gary said, maybe a young decision, maybe not the smartest one.
See Tiger just trying to shake that wrist and almost get that full feeling back in it, like we said.
Gary, if he'd taken an unplayable lie, 2 club lengths or line of sight, could he have knocked it on the green?
Oh, easily, Steve.
So what does he gain?
Well, to me, the situation of injuring himself and, you know, maybe damaging his career was worth giving up a shot, you know. But he just said his whole arm is numb at the moment from the wrist up to the top of his arm. He said it really hurts and it's numb at the moment. So.
It's just like football. When you get hit hard in your arm, you get a stinger, I think we typically call it, and that's probably what he's got here.
But that wasn't a pebble. I mean, that thing was solid, and I was just concerned it might even shoot up and hit him in the eye or something.
I guess the reason I asked the question, he couldn't have gotten on in 2 anyway. If he'd taken a drop, he put it on in 3 as it was. So what does he gain?
Right. I'm puzzled by the situation. I just thought the risk of injury was not worth what he tried to do.
But before David played, Tiger Woods played, and watched the reaction right after impact. You can only hope that he didn't do any real damage. He's really got just 2 holes to go. He'll have tomorrow off, but my guess is he did some real damage to perhaps some ligaments in his left wrist. Here he is at impact. Looked fairly good through the hitting area, but obviously the pain too much to handle. Now, Gary Smith, there's some evidence of what happened on the previous hole. Gary?
Well, Steve, this is the rock that was behind the ball. It's a loose impediment. He had the option to move the rock. But as you can see, this is clearly not a pebble. It's a substantial rock that was lying right behind the ball. It was touching the ball, and he decided to hit it. You can see this thing could really hurt your wrist.
So if basically if he moves the rock, he moves the ball, and incurs a penalty shot. So it's kind of between a rock and a hard place literally here. Woods, if he can just finish his round, can have hopefully some folks take a look at it.
Well, he didn't make any attempt to hit it any easier. And would you believe it's right up the middle of the fairway? Amazing shot from Tiger Woods, who's wounded.
Peter, I'll tell you one thing. If he has actually pulled something and injured himself, even though we do have a day off tomorrow, it's not going to get a whole lot better the next day either.
No. And just overborrowed it. Well, he hasn't held back on any shot he's played since he played the shot by the tree, which I found very interesting.
The frustration now, Woods, and we'll see if he reacts with pain.
Turn a little bit. Turn a little bit.
And this one lost to the right. If you weren't with us, Woods' drive that was lost to the right on 15 with a rock behind his ball. Tiger went at it with a full swing, trying to hit the rock and advance the ball forward, and injured himself. And the full swings on 16, the par 3, 2 on 17, and this drive on 18, as well as that third shot at 15, have all been followed with a similar reaction, even though the look of the swing from behind is normal until the immediate grimace after contact.
Well, Peter just made a good point. It's amazing that he continues to swing at it that hard, because he knows the pain is coming.
And now Tiger Woods, for what he hopes from a pain standpoint would be his last full shot of the day.
Well, despite the pain, and again, a massive drive, just 165 yards left out of the rough.
Great job. Get it, bud. Come on, get there.
Well, you see the pain and how obvious it is, and still through it all, Tiger Woods has not hit bad shots, and that one was very, very good. An opportunity to get within one of Davis, but you can see the discomfort. We'll have to wait and see how bad it is as the day goes on here, and certainly on into Saturday. Well, back here with Davis Love. You've played a lot of golf in your career. Was today the toughest day of playing golf that you've had to face?
I think definitely one of them. You know, we've all had to, at some point, play through some times that we didn't want to we didn't really feel like playing. But I think as a tour, and especially guys that have played a lot with pain, this was one of the toughest days, I know.
Well, with the injury, Tiger played 16, 17, and 18 and 1 under par. He made a bogey at 15, but remember the errant tee shot and having to chip out, or at worst take it unplayable. Chances of making bogey were pretty strong there. So Woods is at 6 under par, 1 behind Davis. So 27 holes are finished of the Tour Championship presented by Southern Company. Gary Smith has a word with Tiger. Gary?
Thank you, Mike. Tiger, first of all, a great round of golf, but I think everybody's concerned about your injury right now. How does it feel?
Don't feel very good right now. I don't feel very strong, and just the whole arms. I got a little stinger going on. Just, you know, all this is a pinched nerve somewhere, and I'll go get it worked out, and I should be all right by Saturday.
What was your thought process when you got up there and saw the rock behind the ball? What were you thinking?
I could take 2 club lengths, but with that flag the way it is, I figured if I could somehow get the ball out to the fairway, at least I could spin it and possibly save par. And that's why I played it. I figured if I hit it hard enough that I should be all right. If I let go, which I did, unfortunately, I didn't let go soon enough.
If you had moved the rock, do you think you would have moved the ball?
Yeah, I tried to move the rock, and the ball was shaking, which meant anytime you're dealing with pine needles like that, the ball will slip, and I'd incur a penalty.
What sort of treatment do you think you will do? Are you going to go to the trailer now?
Yeah, I'm going. Well, as soon as I finish with you, I'm going straight to the trailer, and I don't know what they're going to do because that's their job, and they'll fix it, and I'll be all right.
Do you think you'll be able to play on Saturday?
Oh, don't worry about it. I'll be right there.
Okay. Well, we all hope you're okay.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks for spending some time with us.
Gary, thank you. Good job.